Bezrat Hashem, the Gemara this morning, Shabbat 137b. The Gemara is discussing after circumcising a baby. Sometimes you look at the baby and you feel like he's not circumcised or not fully, completely circumcised. But apparently he did his Brit Milah, his circumcision. What do we do? This point of view is called Katan HaMesurbal Bebasar, which means you still see pieces of skin on top of him and you're not sure was he correctly circumcised or not. It's very important. This is the job of the mohel. The mohel has to know exactly how much to cut. He cannot cut too much and he cannot cut too little. He has to cut exactly. So when he cuts, he has like a tool which is called magen. The magen is a tool to protect that besides cutting the skin, chad v'shalom, he should not cut, chad v'shalom, the organ itself. So he puts them again and he cuts. Some mu'alim, where they're not so trained, chas v'shalom, they could cut less because they're scared to cut too much, and then the baby is like it was not circumcised at all. Besides that, there is a magen which is not kosher. It's called the clamp. The clamp has like a spring which presses on the organ and there's no blood coming to the organ, and then there's a problem because this type of circumcision is not kosher. So the first thing is, when you invite the moel to circumcise your baby, your son, your grandson, you should make sure he's trained, that he knows what he's doing, and he's kosherly certified, and he does not use the clamp. You should ask him, what type of tools do you use for the Brit Milah? But now, how do we decide afterwards when we look at the baby and it seems to us that he's not circumcised? This is something which can happen sometimes, but it's the way to check it. When the baby is small, let's say 2 months, 3 months old, 4 months old, you make him stand, you hold him and you make him stand. If when he stands, you look at the Brit Milah and it still looks not circumcised, then you should call over the moel and you should tell him to fix it. He has to cut with scissors all around and take off the extra skin. But if you make him stand, you hold him and you make him stand, and you see, Baruch Hashem, it's the right way. So this is only a moment, it's a temporary thing. As more as he's going to grow, it's going to go away and you're going to see he's fully circumcised. So a person should always watch for a katan, for a little kid, to see if he was well circumcised. Now, the Gemara wants to know what the beracha that we say when we circumcise a baby. Tanu Rabbanan, Hamal, the one who circumcised, says, Asher kideshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu ala milah. The one circumcising the baby, the bracha is Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ala milah. Avia ben, the father of the baby, which standing right there, Omer, Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lachniso bevrito shel Avraham Avinu. Over here, there's a discussion. Some say first you have to circumcise him, and then you have to say, Asher kideshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu lachniso bevrito shel Avraham Avinu. Some say you say the two blessings, ala milah el achniso bevrito shel Avraham Avinu, before circumcising, and after you're circumcised. It's different customs, but all customs are okay as long as the circumcision is done in the right way. Now, Amvarech Omer, Asher Kidesh Edid Mibeten. After we circumcise a baby, comes two blessings. One of the blessing is Asher Kidesh Edid Mibeten V'chok B'shoro Sam V'tzetzaav Chatam Be'od Kodesh, right? And then we say a bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem Koret Aberit, right? This is the first bracha. The second bracha is the naming. We're naming the baby, which is very important to choose a Jewish name. Sometimes people, for business purposes, they call the babies all kinds of name, George, Paul, whatever it is. This can be done on the legal papers, but in the moment of the Brit Milah, the neshama comes in the baby. The real part of the neshama does not come into a baby just on the day of the circumcision. By a girl, it comes on the day you name her. Normally, we try to name girls on Shabbat. So if she's born, let's say, on a Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, it doesn't make a difference. The first Shabbat is the Shabbat that we name her. Some have the custom to name their girls on Mondays and Thursday, but the more holy neshama comes down to earth on Shabbat, as we know. So it's better to name a girl on Shabbat, the first Shabbat, right after she is born. For a baby boy, the neshama, the important part of the neshama, comes into him the moment you name him. So it's very important to name your baby and give him a full Jewish name. Afterwards, on papers, you want to call him different names, maybe you'll be allowed. You should ask a rabbi. But in the morning of the Brit Milah, when we give him a blessing, and the one giving the blessing says, V'kareh shemo b'Yisrael, you should just give the Jewish name, the name that's going to accompany him from now till after 120. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.